The rivalry between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Patrick Kluivert is legendary. While both considered themselves to be great strikers, they also openly discredited their rivals. It is common knowledge that the two do not get along, especially when playing for the Dutch national team. The problems between these two players were one of the reasons why the Netherlands didn't perform particularly well in the early 2000s. Dutch national team coaches during that period consistently struggled to combine two strikers who in fact possessed exceptional abilities. The problem between Nistelrooy and Kluivert was also the main reason why they failed to advance to the main round of the 2002 World Cup in Korea, Japan. As life goes, there's always good in even the most difficult situations. Amidst the complex feud between Ruud van Nistelrooy and Patrick Kluivert, a figure emerged who became a beacon of hope for the Dutch football public. He was Roy Makaay. Johan Cruyff actually settled the dispute over who was the better player between Nistelrooy and Kluivert. The Dutch football legend stated that Nistelrooy was a great striker but not a great player. Kluivert, on the other hand, was not a great striker, but the former Barcelona player was a good player. Meanwhile, Makaay is somewhere in between. He's an equally good striker and footballer, earning him the nickname Das Phantom, meaning the Ghost. This nickname refers to Makaay's undetectable movement, which was difficult for opposing defenders to detect. He could suddenly be in front of the opponent's goal and score. This is what set him apart from Nistelrooy and Kluivert. Many consider Makaay to be a combination of both, cunning and quick-witted like Nistelrooy, but he's also intelligent and can be as involved in the overall game as Kluivert. Although, it must be admitted, Makaay's abilities are clearly not at the same level as those of Nistelrooy and Kluivert. Roy Rudolphus Antonius Makaay was born on the 9th of March, 1975. He is of Indonesian descent from his Moluccan mother. Makaay first became known as a talented striker while playing for Vitesse in the mid-1990s. However, Makaay didn't immediately become a superstar. Early in his career with Vitesse in the Netherlands, he was often played as a right winger. After 4 seasons with Vitesse, Roy Makaay then tried his luck in Spain, joining CD Tenerife in 1997. This is where his sharp goal-scoring instincts truly came to life. Makaay played for Tenerife for 2 seasons, scoring 21 goals and helping the team maintain its status in the top flight of the Spanish league. Considered a promising talent, Makaay eventually left Tenerife. However, he moved not to Real Madrid or Barcelona, but to another mediocre club, Deportivo La Coruña, in July 1999 for a transfer fee of £7 million. This transfer later proved to be a key factor in Deportivo's success in securing the league title. At the time, coached by Javier Irureta, Deportivo transformed from a mediocre team into a serious contender for the La Liga title, with Makaay as their mainstay. Deportivo supporters hope that Makaay will be able to replace the great role of Brazilian legend Bebeto, who had success with Deportivo La Coruña from 1992 to 1996. Makaay immediately repaid those high hopes in his debut match, proving his mettle with a hat-trick against Deportivo Alaves. He then scored another hat-trick in week 32, the final week of La Liga, this time against Atletico Madrid. Javier Irureta at the time favored a 4-4-2 formation, and in the match against Atletico, Makaay was paired with Turu Flores. Flores himself opened the scoring for Deportivo in the 19th minute. After Flores opened the scoring for Deportivo, it was Makaay's turn to go wild. He scored 2 more goals to give Deportivo a 3-0 lead at halftime. Early in the second half, Atletico managed to snatch a goal through another Dutch striker, Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. However, with 5 minutes remaining, Makaay completed his hat trick to give Deportivo a 4-1 victory. This victory was crucial for Deportivo La Coruña in their quest for their first La Liga title. In the other match, Barcelona suffered a shocking 3-0 defeat at Camp Nou to Real Mallorca. Thanks to this result, Deportivo La Coruña gained momentum and continued to maintain their lead at the top of the standings until they finally emerged as champions with 69 points, 5 points ahead of Barcelona. Makaay himself finished the season with 22 goals, placing him 4th on the La Liga top scorer list behind Salva Ballesta, Hasselbank, and Catania. For Deportivo, Makaay was the club's top scorer that season. With this achievement, Makaay was called up by Frank Rijkaard to strengthen the Netherlands at Euro 2000. Unfortunately, he lost out to Dennis Bergkamp and Patrick Kluivert, so he appeared more as a substitute. Having been in decline after Euro 2000, Diego Tristan's emergence in La Coruña sparked a resurgence of interest for Makaay. The two then formed a partnership that won the 2000 Supercopa de España, defeating Espanyol 2-0 on aggregate in August 2000. A season later, this duet again achieved domestic success, when they managed to win the Copa del Rey title after beating Real Madrid 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu on the 6th of March 2002. If Tristan was an artist who loved dribbling and scoring beautiful goals, Makaay was a cool executioner. His peak came in the 2002 to 2003 season, when Makaay was a terrifying presence in Deportivo's attack. He successfully became La Liga's top scorer in the 2002 to 2003 season with 29 goals, leading Deportivo La Coruña to a third-place finish. Furthermore, with his 29 goals, Makaay was also crowned the European Golden Shoe winner, beating out big names like Ronaldo Nazario and Raúl González. This achievement made Makaay the 4th Dutch footballer to ever win the European Golden Shoe, after legends such as Kees Kist, Wim Kieft, and Marco van Basten. However, there was one iconic moment in his brilliant season, where he scored a hat-trick for Deportivo's 3-2 victory against Bayern Munich in the 2002 to 2003 Champions League group stage.
People burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better. See, I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking
a performance that then made the German Giants bring Makaay in the following season. Makaay's sharpness attracted the interest of then Munich coach Ottmar Hitzfeld. Not only was the coach interested, but the club's sporting director, Uli Hoeneß, was also impressed by his prowess and insisted they sign him. In the 2003 summer transfer window, he was finally brought in for around 18.75 million euros, breaking the club's transfer record at the time. A move initially considered too expensive for Bayern's frugal policy. Makaay's move to the German Giants saw him leave Deportivo after 4 seasons with the Spanish club, making 181 appearances and scoring 97 goals. This tally makes Roy Makaay the 3rd highest scorer of all time for Deportivo La Coruña, behind Diego Tristan 109 goals and Bebeto 100 goals. Moving to a big club did not diminish his brilliance. Instead, Makaay's light became even brighter, where he played a big role in bringing Munich to the Bundesliga and DFB Pokal titles in the 2004 to 2005 and 2005 to 2006 seasons. It was at Bayern Munich that Makaay earned the nickname Das Phantom, or the Ghost, due to his ability to score goals from various positions. Then, on the 29th of September 2004, Makaay scored 3 goals in a 4-0 victory over Ajax in the Champions League group stage. This achievement earned Makaay the distinction of having scored hat-tricks in the Champions League with 2 different clubs. On the 7th of March 2007, Makaay scored the fastest goal in Champions League history, scoring after 10.12 seconds to help Bayern Munich overturn a first-leg deficit and eliminate Real Madrid in the round of 16 of the 2006-07 Champions League. Makaay's goal remains the fastest in the Champions League to date. Makaay scored a total of 78 goals in the Bundesliga and 17 inches the Champions League during his time with Bayern Munich from 2003 to 2007. Unfortunately, Makaay was forced to leave Bayern in the summer of 2007 due to the arrival of other strikers like Luca Toni and Miroslav Klose. He left without protest or drama and decided to return to the Netherlands to defend Feyenoord in the 2007-2008 season. He strengthened Feyenoord until the 2009-2010 season. With Feyenoord, Makaay remained sharp. He even managed to bring his club to win the KNVB Cup in 2008. Unfortunately, despite being one of Europe's top strikers in the early to mid-2000s, Makaay didn't shine with the Dutch national team. With Dennis Bergkamp, Patrick Kluivert, and Ruud van Nistelrooy, Makaay seemed to be drowned out by the competition, even though he was not inferior in quality to them. However, at Euro 2004, Makaay appeared for the Netherlands and scored in the Dutch victory over Latvia in the group stage, and scored in the penalty shootout when the Netherlands eliminated Sweden in the last 8. Unfortunately, his dispute with Marco van Basten meant that he was not considered for the Netherlands in the 2006 World Cup, which was held in Germany, even though he was successful with Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. In 2008, Makaay was selected by coach Foppe de Haan as one of 3 senior players along with Q Jalians and Gerald Sabon to represent the Netherlands at the 2008 Beijing Olympics, where he captained the team. The Netherlands successfully advanced to the quarterfinals. However, in the quarterfinals, they were defeated 1-2 by Argentina, whose Lionel Messi, who ultimately won the gold medal, was then strengthened by the presence of the player. He failed to live up to the expectations of the Orange Club's fans, who considered Makaay to be the striker they had been waiting for in the era of the selfishness of their 2 strikers, Ruud van Nistelrooy and Kluivert. Unfortunately, Makaay failed to shine, his abilities not matching those of his time at Munich or Deportivo. In 2010, Makaay decided to retire from football. Roy Makaay's impressive achievements are certainly impressive, despite his lack of success with the Dutch national team. He won numerous team and individual awards, leaving a mark as one of the most clinical strikers of his era.